Alright. Let's do this one. This is an interesting one. So, this one, I can never pronounce this name right. Kurzgesagt. What if we detonated all nukes at once? So, what would happen if we detonated all the nukes at once? And hi, Nate, welcome. So, I think I've seen one or two of his videos before, and he's pretty good. A lot of science. A lot of cool science stuff. So, I have a hunch I may know what happened, but let's find out.
Many of our viewers have asked us a very serious question. What if we made a big pile of bombs and exploded every nuclear weapon in the world all at once? Strangely enough, we couldn't find a good source to answer this question to our satisfaction. So, we gathered together a few scientists to calculate what would happen and find an answer to this extremely important scientific problem once and for all. Currently, there are 15,000 nuclear weapons on Earth. The US and Russia both have around 7,000.
Like, the idea that the planet would split, maybe, but it depends on how they are all positioned. If they were all positioned together, like all clustered together, in one singular spot, maybe. If they were all like in one single location, maybe it might have enough. But if they were all scattered around the world, it wouldn't crack the planet. It would make the planet uninhabitable, but it would not crack the planet. Well, chaos? Yeah, you're correct in that America has enough nukes to wipe out the population of the planet 11 times over. It's not necessarily enough nukes to actually physically destroy the planet. That's a big difference.
Well, France, China, the UK, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea own around 1,000 between them. But how much destructive power is this really? Let's try to put these numbers into perspective. On Earth, there are about 4,500 cities or urban areas with at least 100,000 inhabitants. Some are bigger than others, so we'll assume that on average we need 3 nuclear bombs to completely wipe out one city. This means we could destroy...
What was the population that he said? They none.
100,000 inhabitants.
I feel, and I could just be overthinking this. I feel like this is low for an average population. I mean, yeah, granted, the major cities have millions. That's understandable, but those are not the common. You know, the major cities that have millions, I feel like 100,000 feels low as an average. Well, no, he's averaging. So he's saying, there's 4,500 cities and urban areas, and they're saying an average population of 100,000. And I think this is, and this is only the United States. This is only the United States that he's talking about. I don't think he's gotten it. I don't think he's gotten planet-wide at this point. But I don't know. 100,000 just feels a bit low as an average, but it could just be me overestimating.
Inhabitants. Some are bigger than others, so we'll assume that on average we need 3 nuclear bombs to completely wipe out one city. This means we could destroy every single city on planet Earth with our nuclear arsenal, killing more than 3 billion people, roughly.
Oh, so the 4,500 cities was worldwide. That feels low. 4,500 cities worldwide feels low. Hang on. Let's say that again.
On Earth, there are about 4,500 cities or urban areas with at least 100,000 inhabitants.
Okay, I completely misunderstood what he was saying. He was only talking about there are 4,500 cities with at least a population of 100,000. Okay, so this number is not factoring in the smaller ones. Okay. I missed the at least part, probably because I was talking over him, honestly.
Some are bigger than others, so we'll assume that on average we need 3 nuclear bombs to completely wipe out one city. This means we could destroy every single city on planet Earth with our nuclear arsenal, killing more than 3 billion people, roughly half of humanity, in an instant. And we'd still have 1,500 nuclear weapons left. Now that's what an expert would call overkill. So we can say with confidence that we have a lot of nuclear weapons and they can do a lot of damage. But what if we make a huge pile of all 15,000 bombs and pull the trigger? Let's drop our nuclear pile in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, just to show nature who's boss. Ow.
Because of course he's gonna say put it in the Amazon rainforest. Like, that poor rainforest is not taking enough shit as is. It's already getting deforested to hell. Fuck it, let's nuke it. Poor Amazon. And no, I don't mean you, Jess.
Our warheads, piled haphazardly, fit into a small warehouse. A typical US warhead has the power of 200,000 tons of TNT. So 15,000 warheads would be the equivalent of 3 billion tons of TNT. For scale, this is enough to rebuild the whole island of Manhattan with every building and skyscraper using stacks of TNT. The closest thing we can compare to the energy gathered here is a volcano. One of the deadliest volcanic eruptions in recorded history took place in 1883 on the island of Krakatoa. The eruption was so powerful that 70% of the island and the surrounding archipelago was destroyed, killing tens of thousands of people. Its effects were felt around the world for days after the event. Our nuclear pile contains 15 times the energy of the Krakatoa volcanic eruption.
Oh.
So let's finally push the button. 3, 2, 1. In a second, a fireball 50 kilometers across vaporizes everything in its way.
Wait, did he say 15 or 50? Hang up. No, they just have cocaine pigs in Chicago, Chaos.
In a second, a fireball 50 kilometers across vaporizes everything in its way and creates a blast wave that flattens 3,000 square kilometers of forest. Every living thing within 250 kilometers will start to burn. The explosion will be heard literally around the world as the pressure wave circles the Earth tens of times over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Millions of tons.
Yeah, because we must not forget, with a nuclear explosion, it's not the outward forcing pressure wave, it's the vacuum that is created which sucks the pressure wave back in again. And because this is such a massive explosion, that's going to be repeating over and over and over again. So it's not only will the pressure wave be spreading the radiation, it will be continually spreading the radiation for weeks in 2 different directions. Like, holy shit. That initial blast kills everything on the planet.
Tons of incinerated material are catapulted into the atmosphere. The mushroom cloud reaches the outer reaches of the stratosphere, pushing up against space itself. After things have calmed down, a small crater, about 10 kilometers across, is left in the center of the worst wildfires the planet has seen in millennia, spreading throughout South America, burning down forests and cities alike. And now, the unpleasant part begins. Extremely radioactive material will kill living things very quickly, and a large area several kilometers around the crater is now uninhabitable, as is everywhere for hundreds of kilometers downwind. Much of the fallout is carried high into the atmosphere by the mushroom cloud and carried around the planet. The amount of radioactive material in the environment doubles worldwide, which still isn't civilization ending, but we may see more cancer for a while. A portion of the particles will float at the edge of space for years and cause a nuclear winter that could lower global temperatures by a few degrees for a few years. This explosion...
Okay, what I'm hearing so far is nowhere near as bad as I expected. The radiation, he said, would not kill all life. It would just increase, cancers, which of course is not great. And the nuclear winter would lower the temperature by, he said, a few degrees. Which again, well, here's the thing. I don't know if it would be ice age because he said that it would only lower it. Let me back it up. He said it would lower it by a few degrees.
Worldwide, which still isn't civilization ending, but we may see more cancer for a while. A portion of the particles will float at the edge of space for years and cause a nuclear winter that could lower global temperatures by a few degrees for a few years.
Yeah, lower temperatures by a few degrees for a few years. That's not bad. Considering the event in question, lowering the temperature by a few degrees for a few years, that's not anywhere near as horrific as I was expecting so far. Other than the blast point and the fact that the Amazon and everything surrounding it for a couple 100 kilometers is fucked, so far, and yeah, we're only halfway through, so far, definitely not good, but not as horrific as I was expecting.
This explosion was pretty bad if you're in South America and especially Brazil. The Amazon rainforest is pretty much history, which is not great, but human life will go on.
But what he just said is a bigger problem. The Amazon rainforest is the source of, what did the fat electricians say? It's like 50 or 70% of the oxygen generation for the planet. It's either 50 or 70%, I forget what it was he said, of the oxygen generation for the planet comes from the Amazon. If that's gone, well, humanity's fucked. If the Amazon rainforest is gone, humanity is going to be fucked very quickly. Because there's no way to... the ocean doesn't generate oxygen. What the ocean does is the ocean will capture carbon dioxide. The ocean captures carbon dioxide. The ocean is not really generating O2. It's capturing carbon dioxide and preventing a runaway greenhouse gas effect. So it captures the algae and coral reefs. They will capture carbon dioxide and process it. But the Amazon rainforest is what is our major producer of oxygen. That is the major producer of oxygen for the planet. And without that, we're fucked. We are pretty well fucked.
Okay, but what if we explode more nuclear weapons? Let's suppose humanity decided to mine every bit of uranium on Earth and build as many nuclear bombs as possible.
Oh, okay. Now we're going into fantasy territory of what if we just pun intended here. What if we go nuclear? And Kirsten Blue, thank you for the follow. Ocean scientists estimate that roughly half the oxygen production on Earth comes from the ocean. The majority of this production is from plankton. Yeah, and probably like the majority of the other half is coming from the Amazon.
More nukes.
With the crab rape, I love it. It's like basically, if we lose the Amazon rainforest, the ocean, especially in its current form, will not be able to supply enough oxygen to sustain humanity. 20%? I thought it was like 50%. I thought it was high. Maybe I'm getting my figures mixed up. Maybe I'm getting my percentages mixed up. Yeah. Uh, and here's the thing. It's the like I said, the ocean is producing like I guess greater than half the world's oxygen, but look at what the current state of the ocean is. Yeah, the biomes of the ocean are dying off at a terrifying rate because of pollutants these days. So I would question how much the ocean is capable of producing in terms of oxygen these days. Well, it's supposed to recycle 60%. Amazon recycles 60%. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the recycling. Maybe I'm thinking of the recycling the oxygen. That could be where I got that number from. Some reefs are recovering. See, I was hearing a lot of them were like dead. I was hearing like a good portion of a lot of them were dead. They're not coming back, but they are starting to recover. That's good. Yeah, and your dog, I saw the same thing. A significant portion of the Great Barrier Reef is dead. So, and it's like dead to the point where I don't think it can recover. And that's the concern when it comes to the ocean, to say that the ocean is producing 50% of the oxygen, that's if the ocean was unimpeded. So, again, if the ocean was unimpeded, and humanity unfortunately has impeded the fuck out of the ocean. So,
at current usage, it's estimated that there are around 35 million tons of uranium in Earth's crust, enough to power human civilization for over 2,000 years, or to build millions of nuclear warheads. For the sake of argument, let's say we create a pile with a yield of 10 billion Hiroshima bombs, which makes up a cube 3 kilometers high that contains roughly the energy of the asteroid impact that ended the age of the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Except it's also nuclear.
So it's still not going to crack the planet. If it's got the impact of, I forget what the name of that asteroid is. If it's got, you may have the same power of that asteroid, it won't crack the planet. It'll make a big fucking hole, but it's not going to crack the planet. But I'm curious what the fallout effects are going to be.
3, 2, 1. Our pile explodes in a fireball stretching so high into the sky that it's visible from half of South America, with so much power that the ground just splashes like water, forming a crater 100 kilometers across. Bedrock on the scale of whole mountain ranges is vaporized in an instant, while thousands of tons of material is catapulted away with such speed that it's ejected into space. Some leaves Earth forever, while most of it comes raining down as hot, burning debris that heats up the atmosphere to oven-like temperatures, killing most big animals and causing firestorms all over the world. The Earth's crust rings like a bell, struck by global earthquakes stronger than anything in recorded history, decimating cities around the world, while hurricane-force winds flatten every single tree in South America and wildfires consume the continent. The abundance of hydrocarbons in the Amazon burned to form ash are cast into the atmosphere, darting the sky and keeping sunlight from reaching the surface, dropping temperatures to near freezing worldwide. The ensuing global winter may last for decades and results in the extinction of every large animal species, humans included. We could also mention that every corner of the planet is covered with radioactive fallout, but at this point, it doesn't matter that much anymore. This is humanity's.
That's cute.
To chew 5 gum.
Seriously, Alex. I love the little fallout thing here with the T50, was it T59 or T60 helmet and the rad roaches. I love that. That's cute.
Extinction event. The astronauts aboard the International Space Station get to enjoy a great view for a while, but it's not unlikely that the spray of rocks blast into orbit will destroy the station. Those lucky enough to be in bunkers or in submarines deep below the ocean surface may survive the longest before they exhaust their food supplies and have to venture out for more. They'll find the world a charred, freezing, radioactive wasteland. The planet itself doesn't care at all. After just a few million years, the wounds of the explosions have healed and life is thriving, arguably even more so than when humans were around. If intelligent life emerges again, it might be able to work out what happened. When they study geology, they'll find a bizarre and very thin layer of rock covering the entire world, enriched in radioactive elements like uranium and the other nasty things it decays to, mixed with rare earth metals and plastics that humans used. They would probably be very, very confused.
Or they could very well repeat our mistakes. Okay, so honestly, if we detonated all of our current existing warheads, not as bad as I thought it would be. The effects were not as bad as I thought. Yeah, it can be. I mean, the idea of what we potentially could do to our planet is terrifying. But, for what is currently in our arsenal, it's not as bad as I thought.